Hi there and welcome to easy, simple social media video with a bunch of tools we're going to have. My name is Dante St James. Let's take you through some of the start of it. I'll just present my screen and we'll get it underway. Just one moment. Working on unlimited things because I'm on the road at the moment and potentially going to be heading into quarantine. So that's actually going to be a very interesting way to present some of these classes. We'll see how I go, huh? Let's get this one up and running, so we don't waste any time because we've got quite a few tools that we're going to work through today, including Canva, InVideo, and Crello, as well as Lumen 5 and Wave Video as well. Some fantastic free options in there, which is always good news for everybody, but also some paid options that aren't going to break the bank as well. My background is all about this. I've done a lot of individual certifications and done a lot of contracts with the NT Australian, Queensland and WA governments, working with Treaty Business Consulting as a head of digital, and have done much work with many organizations. There's a lot of badges on there. Forgot just how many badges there were on this particular one. So there's a world of subscription software and services out there that's not based on subscriptions. So it's the quality of those subscription pay per month kind of things. But through areas like PitchGround and AppSumo, you're able to get hold of a whole bunch of different video software development and video development and production software that can really help you to unhinge yourself from things like the expensive Adobe software suite and others just like it as well. AppSumo is where I go for most of mine. It's where you can find some really great specials, particularly on one, which is called InVideo. Now, a little bit of a comparison here between the different ones we're looking at. Canva is free to start and you can do a fair bit of video work with it from completely zero upfront cost. Although if you want to pay annually, it's about $119.40. So if you're using Canva quite as much as I do, and I literally, it's my daily driver for most graphics and video, then it's probably going to be worth that. And you get a lot more extra to play with, effects and elements, all the stuff you need to make a really good go of it. $12.95 a month is around about what it is in Australian. In InVideo's case, this is a specific video building package, and it's probably one of the better ones that I've seen out there in terms of its inclusions of templates and the ability to put in music and to edit things. It's actually quite good. And at the moment, and it's been on there for quite some time, there's a $49 once-off deal via AppSumo that allows you to pay it once and you never have to pay again. Now, it does have some limitations. Naturally, it's not everything. It's not every piece of stock footage you'll find, but it is a heck of a lot of it. I usually use this to make 4 or 5 videos a day, so I need the extra juice of about $20 US a month to get me extra elements. But if you're making a video a week or a couple of months, the $49 US one's going to be fine for you. Crello, on the other hand, is kind of like Canva. It's very, very similar, but it's much more made for animated and so it's very, very, very useful for that. And it's $60 US for 1 year via AppSumo, which I think has been actually removed now. That one's not available anymore, but it's then either basic free use, just like Canva is, or $9.95 a month US, which works out just similarly to what the Canva price is once you start doing the Australian dollars. Wave Video and Lumen 5 we'll look at very shortly as well. They often come up on these ones. So some of the things you'll get within video, for instance, $49 US is 1,200 plus templates, 30 videos a month that you can use to build your videos with. So they're stock videos. It's up to 10 minutes of video you can put in there each one. So that's actually quite good because most social media video probably wouldn't need to be that much longer than that. Stock images and video library are open for you, and there's royalty-free music that you can insert into the background of your creations as well. You can get hold of an extra $10 US off by signing up using this particular link. I'll put this in the comments below if you're sharing this on YouTube, or if you're just watching in here, I can put it into the chat channel as well. We've got a couple of people who are watching live right now too. And you can always email me through there if you want to find out more about how any of these things worked. So for now though, let's go in and actually have a look at how to make video in some other instances. So I'm going to use, for instance, Canva, which I think is a very powerful way for you to do that. So I'm going to pop at the home screen of Canva. And what we're going to do is going to shift some of my elements around here. Now, when we go to create a video in Canva, it's a little bit different to making a graphic, but it's also very much the same as making a graphic. It's just motion in graphics. So let's create a design. We're going to start with this. I'm going to type in video. And it gives me a few things. I can make a video of 1920 by 1080, which is high definition television quality. It's also the quality for high definition TV that's on broadcast quality as well. You can't just send this to a TV station and say, hey, here's my ad. There's some encoding requirements you have to go through and some regulatory requirements. But it does give you some opportunities to make some things like, for instance, a collage of video. You can make a video message, a video presentation, Facebook video, of course, which is 1080 by 1080. And let's face it, most of your video is going to be square. So let's do that. 1080 by 1080, we're making a square video for Facebook. Now, what it will give us is a chance to have all these different templates for video that they've already set up for us. So let's go past the Christmas stuff because we're past that now. Let's say maybe pick up this little cute one here. It'll show you that there is a motion graphic in here. So I've got various ones. So you can have different scenes for this. Let's see this first one. So this one could be a scene. You can see it's raining over what looks like it might be a wheat field. So it's just a 3.3 second video in there. Now, if I wanted to change this to my trip to the tropics, take out all that extra stuff. I can say, you know, North Queensland. Let's try typing correctly. And say that it was in, I actually went there in November 2020. And I might want to change that background to something a bit more tropical rather than that. What I can do is go down the left here and then grab my videos and look for something tropical. Let's see what I can find. So it's giving me a whole bunch of these different options. So I'll find the thing that looks a little bit more tropical than what this one does. There's some swaying palm trees spinning around. If I pick that video up and put it in there, it's now created a 28.8 second video that is now that first scene there. So I've now created essentially my first video, and it's pretty damn good looking as well. Looks fantastic. If I want a bit of water in there instead, let's throw this one in there. So I've got tropical water with outrigger canoes on it. So you can start to see you can put together some really cute videos that are just about what you want them to be. But what if you have your own video elements you want to put in there? Canva allows you to do that by the uploads. You can go to your uploads, and I can look at the videos I've already uploaded, or I can upload some others. So for instance, I've got a few videos here. I've got a video here of some from a client. I'm going to put that one in there. So this is a video that I've uploaded myself from my desktop, and it's an 18-second long video. So I can then resize videos. And this is where it becomes particularly useful for you, is where you get to resize videos that are set in wider formats, and you throw them in a template like this, and you've got a usable video. Or if I wanted to, I can take out all these other elements, which I really don't need in there, because let's face it, we're not talking about a North Queensland holiday anymore. And I've just got this video. If I want to play it, there we go. You can see what it looks like, which is all great. But how about if I wanted to put some music in the background of that as well? Here we go. I can put some music in there, or I can upload audio. I would upload a voiceover to this. So an 18-second voiceover, I could record that on my computer and upload it as audio here. And that would then become a voiceover to that particular video as well. But for now, we're just going to pick some music from the stock library they're provided. Some pretty good stuff in there. There's a travel one here. Salt Lake Seagull. Let's see what that sounds like. Or like Whoa, which is hip hop. Or Pine, which is a bit of piano music. So if I want to use that one, all I need to do is just throw this on over the same thing. Let's give it a pause first. And now I've got the Pine music in there. It's giving me a run along here of how long that is. So it's only because it's an 18-second video, it's only going to play 18 seconds of that audio. And you can see it's actually highlighted this just here, the first 18 seconds of that. So if I wanted to open that up and preview what that actually sounds and looks like for 18 seconds, I'll just get my microphone adjusted so you can hear what's going on. So there you go. You've got an example of a video that I loaded up myself, added some music to it, so add a little bit of drama with that piano music, a bit too dramatic maybe. And it gives us an opportunity to be able to create a video that we can then download as MP4, We can even connect our social accounts through, such as the Facebook account or your Instagram account, and publish straight to them from there. Or like most of us do, just download it and use the publishing tools that we normally would use, whether that's the publishing tool we'd use within Facebook or the Business Suite or Creator Studio, or if you use outside things like Hootsuite and Buffer and all those third-party scheduling softwares as well. So making a video in Canva is just as easy as making regular graphics. Now that's a whole video to be doing on there. If you've got a bigger video with lots of voiceover, you can do that as well. But what I think we'll showcase now is rather than video that's made from, just a video that you've loaded up, I'm looking at making something which is a graphic into a video. So let's just say if I pick up, for instance, a graphic that I've made in the past for, let's see, that's a picture of me. There we go. We can do something with this. So any regular graphic can be turned into video by a very simple process by adding animated elements to it. And your animated elements live over in the elements on the left. So if you look at these animated elements, you're just going to be looking down for things called stickers. These are things that move generally. So I want to see all those stickers and get a very big range of them. As you can see, I can pick out a whole bunch of extra moving things and insert them onto this image. So I'm going to take this rocket and put it into my photo. So I'm going to push this down here, put my rocket up here, make it a bit smaller because it's a bit overwhelming at the moment. And that now gives me the chance of it's making an 11-second video. So I've got a second scene here, which I can just get rid of. I don't really need that. So it's now a 6-second video. So if I was to play that now, there's no sound. It's just a 6-second video with an animation in it. If I go back now, I can edit that and add some other animated elements to it. So let's find something like sparkle. I'm going to put a sparkle in my glasses. So if I'm looking for sparkle, here's a bunch of sparkles that I can add to it. If I go down, I'll find the one that I want. So something not too full on. Some of these are very, very full on. I want something a little bit more subtle than that. Those stars are still a little bit full on. Something a little bit, so you've got these little sparkles here that are a little bit more subtle and small. And I can put that over my glasses. So I've just got a little subtle. It's almost like my forehead is shining, isn't it? Maybe we'll do that. Let's make my forehead shine because it's shiny and bald. There you go. So just little subtle elements like that make a regular graphic into a video. So when I go to download it, it will offer to download it as an MP4 video. And that's what we want. We want an MP4 video because that's essentially what we're going to upload. And as you know, video on Facebook and Instagram, more so Facebook than Instagram, is much more engaging to be able to use. So if we use an MP4 video and we're able to do that, we can then upload that, and our really boring still static graphics are going to be so much more engaging than what any of these other ones will be. And I'll go back through some of the examples of things I've already made before. So you get an example of some of the things I've been doing, which are videos, which were starting off very much as just plain graphics, but now are videos. So I'm going to go back to the home page, delete a couple of these extra windows that I don't need. And if I go to some of my recent designs, and there's a lot of them, including an ebook, which someone will be seeing very shortly. So if we go down to, say, for instance, this one. Now, these are a series of ads that I made for Treaty Business Consulting about my workshops that I run, right? So this is one of them that's coming out, how to quote your work. Now, that could have been just a simple, plain, easy, just graphic. But what I decided to do was turn it into a video instead, because it's more engaging, more people will see it, it's got a bit more action, and it's more likely to have people who are going to see it and go, oh, okay, that looks like it's going to be a lot more interesting than just a static graphic. So I've pressed play, and it's actually got a video in the background that I've overlaid some elements on top of. So we can see there's a plumber going on there, and being about how to quote your work, quite appropriate for a plumber. So how I'd put something like that together from scratch would be, let's make a new one. Go back to now, home, create a design. I'm going to start with an image. No, I'm not. I'm going to start with an Instagram post because 1080 by 1080. Generally, that square size is going to work best for you on most social media platforms. I'm going to grab a video, and that video is going to be of cakes. You can tell I just had lunch and I'm feeling like something sweet now. So in here, I can see some photos of cakes. some action around those. That's quite pretty. That's absolutely gorgeous and delicious looking. Now, if I wanted to then create elements over the top of that, I just simply grab the things I want. So if I want to say some boxes, I can grab this square shape and it goes in over the top of it. And I can go, let's say a wide rectangle that's going to come out the side with some words in it. And I'm going to make that background black. I can change that by just changing the color here. And I'm going to put another one down the bottom on the other side. You can start to see what I'm starting to try and do here. So I can then press play. Let's see what that looks like. I can see they've got my overlays there, but naturally it's not just what I want to do. I want to do a bit more than that. I want to put some words inside there and maybe even a little animation as well. So let's look for a sticker. Cake, a cake sticker. Look, there's a bunch of them. Mostly birthday cakes, but this one's cool. Is there a cupcake in there somewhere? It'd be nice to add. Maybe not a cupcake, rainbow cake. So let's add the rainbow cake graphic on there as well. So I'm just going to do that a little bit there. I'm not going to go over the top with my graphics because we've already got motion in there. And add some words. Change those words to white so you can see them. And we're going to do like a baking. Oops, that just disappeared on me. I was a little bit too quick with my typing fingers. I'm going to create a baking workshop, center that in there. And I'm going to take my subheading down here and add it in down the bottom so that we've got an idea of the details of the baking workshop. And that baking workshop can happen on, what's the day? Friday the 8th. So let's say Saturday, 9th January, 2021. And then if I go to press play on this one, you'll now see that I've got a 7.7 second long graphic video. And that is going to look so much more interesting than just a plain old graphic full of words on it. It's going to look at that and go, that's delicious. I want to be able to make stuff just like that. Right now, I don't care about making it. I just want to eat it. So you've got the idea of how to make simple social media videos on here. So just a quick recap, we'll pop in to making a brand new design. We're going to make a video. Most of the time, what you're doing is probably making a Facebook video, although you can make video ads as well, but a Facebook video will do. Now, sometimes you're going to be choosing some of these templates. You find a template that you want. Let's just say that it is fruit. So there's breezy breakfast. That looks kind of cool. Let's do that. And you take this and make it your own. So in this case, it's a very, this is a video. I'm pretty sure it's a video. This one's not, hasn't got any motion on it, but you can add motion onto it, of course, with your stickers. We use that little cake, and that turns it immediately into being able to be downloaded as an MP4 as opposed to a PNG. So that's the very basics around Canva as a video making piece of software. What I'd like to introduce you to now is a thing called InVideo. And if you haven't come across this one before, it's one that's been very popular when I've presented it before and led to lots of people wanting to buy it because it is an excellent video tool. So InVideo, once you're logged into it, and this is the one that's $49 for a lifetime deal, US dollars. Make sure you get that right. And then I've got the code at the end that I'll be able to send to you that will give you an extra $10 off that as well once you join. So they've got a whole bunch of things they've got in here, which are invitations and graphics and templates that are pre-made for you in the three main kinds of ratios. So you got the wide ratio, which is like TV, like your laptop computer that you're probably watching this on. Square, which is mostly on a mobile, and vertical, which is for stories. So I go to vertical, for instance, it will give me a bunch of these templates down below that show me a whole bunch of them that you can have. So if I lean on one of these, it's going to start playing it and show me what it's like. So it's a cute Star Warsy kind of thing. The hobby one over here on the left. So these are really clever because they've built them in a lot of informational, educational, and what we call listicle formats. If you want a listicle, I'll go back to the square one because that's what most of us will look at. I can then look for something that's in the category of listicle. So I can create a stunning location here. What I want to do is look down until I find a category called listicle. So you've got, different categories in here, handpicked templates. You've got just added, so brand new ones they've got that they've just added to the collection. They're adding stuff every month, so the collection is getting bigger and bigger. Intros and outros to videos as well. Their top categories are all around here. So there's 90 templates for bite-sized ads, 30 templates of video testimonials, which are a great way to showcase what people are saying about you. My favorite's listicles. I like creating these. I think they're fun, creating facts about what it is I do and the platforms that I work with. So if I go and view all these listicles, I can start to see that there's coronavirus ones, there's informational ones, how to become a Pinterest kingpin. So as I hover on this, it'll play a preview of it. It'll show what it looks like. Get the idea? It's a list of facts or a list of figures or something you can use to deliver informational or educational entertainment. We go across to a bit further, this one here. So good fitness graphics. Now, all of these elements that are inside each of these templates are changeable, just the same way you would do with Canva. So if I want to pick out, for instance, maybe this one here, and it's going to start playing it for me. I don't want to play it. I just want to load it. And you'll be able to see how the templates lay out. So we've got the first one, which is number 3, which is 3 things you may not know about diabetes, but you can change that 3 things you may not know about mobile phones. And then I can grab some videos over here, just like Canva, there's a collection of videos. So I'm looking for mobile phone as a video. So we go, got some in here. I might get this one where it's being used. It's 12 seconds long. Now, bear in mind, this is only 6 seconds long at the moment, this one's 12. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that in there. I want to use it. I want to replace it. But it gives me the chance to only choose 6 seconds of this particular one. So I'm just going to cut that down to 6 seconds. So they've then got the same length of video as the original one in there. Done. It's now going to put that video in the background. So if I play it now, it's now. So I can also change the colors that are in there. So this color here, this green, is a preset color that's got to do with the brand colors already in place. But I can change that if I want to change it to something else, like maybe an amber yellow, because I can remember what the number is, FFCC00. And you see over here, it's now changed to yellow as well. Or I can fiddle with the fonts. If I don't like that particular font, I can make it another one. So change the style. It's on currently Google Sans. I might want to make that a regular so it fits into 2 lines. Or it doesn't, stretch it out a bit more until it does. Maybe it won't. But that's a bit neater there. I quite like that one. I can also stick my branding elements on there. I can upload any elements that I like. So if I upload maybe a treaty logo, I can do that. So let's drag this over here. It's already done it. So it's got that video on there. I might want to drag it up there. I might want 2, just 1 is enough. And I can put that up in the corner if that's what I wish to have, sort of like a little brand mark in there. Now that's currently sitting underneath an overlay. See how it's not quite a white background? It's kind of got an overlay on it. If I go over to my layers here, I can see the different layers that I'm working with. There's a 3, which is the number 3. Things you may not know, that's another layer. Then there's an overlay before I get down to the image, which is the treaty logo, and then the media, which is the video. So this overlay here was something to make it easier to read the text over. So that's locked at the moment, but I can unlock it and then make changes to it. So I can say the color of that is currently black. I can make it a little less opaque, a little bit more clear. So you can still read it nicely, and my logo is not messed with as much. Or the other thing I can do is I can always take that logo, this image here, and move it above the overlay. Sorry, it's this one. And change. So now it's that full white. So I've taken it above the overlay. So I can then take the overlay and then edit it and make that color a little bit more opaque. So back to what we were, the same kind of effect. But now my logo is sitting a bit more brightly. So I press play again on that. So So that's scene 1 of my video. Then we come on this timeline, we get on to scene 2. Now scene 2, a little bit different, but it's got some stuff in there. So I can say that mobile phones are more widely used than computers. Typing under pressure, it's always hard, isn't it? Again, I want to change my color. So let's change the color. My little toolbar over here. Remember I was using FFCC00. Let's now change that. Now I want to change that video there into something else. So look at the video library, or I can upload a video of my own up here with the uploads. But I'll just take this one for now. I want to replace it. Now this one was 6 seconds long as well. So I want to cut this down to, I can do it up here and actually do an estimated 6 seconds. I can just cut it down by going like that. But if I want to get it absolutely perfectly exact, I can always just do it in here. Double click and 0600. And then it's perfectly 6 seconds and done. And so now I have that video in there as well. If I wanted to say, for instance, get this treaty thing to go on all the different slides, because I wanted to put I'll just copy that, go to the next one and paste it. And then it's there as well. But notice how it's under the overlay again. So again, use my layers, pick it up, put it over the top, and it's showing out nice and bright again. And then you continue to go on until you get to the point where you're ready to see it. You're going to export it. So it goes through a process of starting to build your video for you. So it's rendering at the moment at 3%. That'll run for a little while. It'll render out that video into an MP4 format that you can then download and use on anything you like. So you can use it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anything. In fact, it's quite good for making YouTube videos that are around about that 10-minute mark, because that's what the limit is. It is 10 minutes. They also work on, if you want to do very complicated 10-minute videos, they only let you do what is up to 50, what they call scenes. So if you're doing a very complex video with lots of different elements coming in, within that, you can only have 50 individual scenes. So if you had different videos that you were chopping up from something you've taken on your phone or on a video camera, then you can only use 50 of those in each individual video that you make in here. So there are some limits, but let's face it, we're trying to make short, sharp, simple social media videos here, not great big Cecil B. DeMille, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino feature films. That's for other products like Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro and all those very professional DaVinci style pieces of software where you're actually editing video, not just making quick, short, sharp little snippets like this. So this one's a really fun one for you to use as well. And it's very, very cheap at $49 US for a lifetime. I've paid an extra $20 per month just so I can get additional access to more stock videos and stock photography, because I use a lot of it. So it's something I'm worth doing, because I'm making probably 2 to 3 of these a day for a lot of stuff. So for me, it's producing a lot. And I want to have the ability to not have to sort of keep paying extra things all the time, just on an ad hoc basis. So that one's nearly done now. It's nearly done. So we can download it once it's now free. It's at 81%. Come on, you can do it, buddy. You're nearly there. And it just doesn't let you download until it is complete. But in the meantime, we can jump across to another tool. Now we've got it now. So we'll give you a preview and show you this is how it looks. This is how your video is and how it sounds. You can see it then transition to the next one. In addition, your transitions are actually available for between those video parts. If I just go back to my projects and go to edit it, how it's slid left. Well, if you want that to be something different in the transition between scenes, you can do that. It will allow you to have things like spinning wheels and all sorts of weird and wonderful transitions. So I go here, it says slide left. So that's the transition between scenes. I can then choose all these different things, I like that Flippin' X top. What is a Flippin' X top? A Flippin' X top will look roughly like, well, we'll have to export and see what it looks like, but it's the whole thing kind of flips around. So moving on to our next tool, which is going to be Crello. the one I talked about before. This is very much like Canva, very, very, very similar to Canva, has all those same layouts for all the different things as Canva does. But what you'll see as an advantage with Crello, and the reason why I use it as well, is that eventually everything on Canva starts to look the same. You start to see everybody's using the same stuff, the same templates, and they're all setting it up in a way that means that it just looks so generic sometimes. And you want to avoid that. If you've got a brand that you're trying to stand out, then that generic looking stuff is it's just not where you want to go. You don't want to look like every other person. And if I see one more powder pink thing with the floral writing through it, it's just going to make me scream, because it's just like every coach seems to have that same thing. So instead of having that, what we aim for is to have something more original, and you can have very animated posts or still posts as well. So let's have a look at a Facebook post as an example. And you've got the same kind of thing as Canva, where you're choosing templates. There's a whole bunch of them over here. Let's see, something that looks really cool. This one, this is really beautifully set up. So I can pick up this and then it ends in there. So I choose my template and there it is. So I can now play with the elements that are in there. So this one, for instance, just like in Canva, I can change that to blue because the colors I'm working with in this client are blue. This one over here is blue as well. Make this one blue. Nope, not the words, the element. There we go. Make you blue. Change the words. So Pygmalion is the name of the play. Make that blue writing as well, and blue writing over here. So I completely changed the mood of that photo, but I can change it even further by putting my own photo in it. So look at what my files are. I've got quite a few in here. Don't want to just continue to do photos myself. So let's do a photo of an expo that I was at recently. So I can put that in there, and then I can just, now what I want to do is actually replace this. So I need to place it very specifically in a spot where it's going to replace what's already in there. So I can take this, make it fill the screen. Come on, you can do it. There we go, make it full size. Come on, buddy, you can do it. A little bit more. Okay, now it's going full size, and I can use my layering to send that back. So send it backward, 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 until I find the right overlay that I want. Bring it forward a bit. There we go. So I've got a completely different setup now with that particular graphic. Now, the same thing happens with Crello as happens with Canva. I can add animations now to make this a video. So I can look for something impressive or something like a shark. That's kind of cute. Have a shark swimming around. Oh, it's cute. It's kind of creepy, actually. Let's make the shark a little bit bigger. And again, I can play this so that I can see what it's going to look like when it goes live. I can preview it. So you get the idea of those 3D kind of things that stand out. So these impressive ones, there's quite a few of those. I'll take the shark out. You can see there's a few more. You can see a woolly mammoth that's walking along. Dancing skeleton might be great for Halloween. Let's see what that looks like. Apart from creepy. You start to get the idea of what you can do with some of these. By doing this, you're turning it instantly into a video. So you're taking a still graphic and giving it some life. Now, if we might not want spiders and things crawling across, but we might want some moving elements. Let's add a Christmas element, for instance, if you want to make something a bit more Christmassy. Turn off this one. You see that element, yeah, the flip top. Back to Crello. So we've got a Christmas elements that are in there, so we can add a little bit more flavor to what we're doing. Here we go. So you can start to see some really impressive effects and some really impressive, graphics that can be turned into simple social media videos just by doing that. Now, just like Canva, you can load up your own videos and put them in place of this as well. I don't know if I've got any videos loaded up into this particular one, except for a guy speaking. I might put Peter in there. So I'll put Peter in there. He's just going over into that same spot. Anytime now, Peter. Load up, buddy. I've let my beard grow quite a lot during these holidays, so it's starting to make me itch a little bit. think we're getting back to Darwin and chopping a lot of this off, I reckon. This is taking a little bit too long for us to be doing because it's a very long video of him rambling on. So we might look for something a little bit shorter. I don't really have any shorter videos in there, but if I can grab a video that's already in here. So let's say, for instance, dude in the shower. Let's drag him over. Again, it's waiting for that to be processed. I can say how much I want of it. I don't want all of it. I just want maybe 6 seconds of it. So I've got that now. I want it to be bigger, stretch it across the screen, across the area that I'm working with. It could be like an Oral-B guy, couldn't he? We couldn't show you this dentist on TV. And then I can just layer that down so it does exactly the same thing and puts all those elements on top the way we want. And then when I go to play this one, you'll start to see motion with overlays with it as well. So you start to see some really impressive little ads you can put together, some much more eye-catching effects that'll be able to make it so much easier for you to grab attention. Let's face it, that's what it's all about on social media. Is you need to grab attention from everything else that's going on the page. Let's close that one down. So just a quick recap on how this one works before we move on to our next tool. If I could go back to a new design, let's make it a square video post. I can do something as simple as adding a video. Let's just grab this lady here. I don't know what she's doing or why she's there, but looks fantastic. There's 12 seconds. I want to stretch that across the screen. I'll make her fill that square. There we go. So she's filling the square now. I can add other elements. So objects, they're called here. I can add a star down here if I want to. I can add a square or a circle or whatever kind of elements I think are appropriate for this. Not that one. Maybe a circle. And then add any sort of text over the top that I want to add. There's some preset text like you find in Canva, or we can just use some of this. I like video and photo text, to be honest. This is one of the better little things I've found in here. So I grab video text and I can write something like whatever I want to write in there, really. Let's see. So I can add that as find where to do that. Come on, so we can do it. I won't add the actual words in there, but it's got a video in behind it. So when you actually do the effect, let's play it, you can see that the text is actually moving. That's another really cool way to add a really nice effect that you don't see in every ad and every post these days. I've just got to make it so I can actually make that work properly. Just a second, lost my Zoom window. I think my sharing stopped, so I'll try that again. And we share again. Sorry about that. And so you can get that effect. Go again. Hopefully that'll come through correctly. It did. And that kind of effect is really, really stunning because it's something, like I said, you're not going to see everywhere else. You're not going to see that effect on everyone else's stuff. And that's what you're looking for in these little simple videos. You're looking for a way to avoid being generic, to avoid being the same as everybody else with the same Canva graphics, the same Canva layouts as everyone else. Now we'll move on to a couple of other ones. I'm going to move on to Lumen 5 now, which is another video one. Now this one's a little bit more expensive, but this one's also got a free layout, just like Canva does. So I can create a single video, I'll create a video for a project. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to create a single video. And it's going to open up the Lumen 5 thing now. Very similar. There's a whole lot of these really cool, nice, easy done basic video templates. So I can start with text. I can add text and then create a video around that, which is a very clever way of doing it. So you can add the text from your blog, for instance, and it'll automatically build a video around that. What is it? InVideo also has that same feature. Or if you want to create something that's a little bit more, I don't know, not so much that, maybe the top 3 tips for success. It's going to open up this one. So similar thing, opening up a template and then making changes to it. So I can tap in here and go, I might make that the top 5 tips for work success rather than WFW, which I think is work from home, WFH, presented by Dante. Can't spell my own name. Really can't spell my own name. There we go. And then if I pop in any sort of video in the background, so in here there's media I can pick up. I can pick up from a library of millions of photos and videos that they've got already. There's animated GIFs that are also built in there as well. Just this, I must admit, Lumen 5 for me, I don't use that often because it's very slow. I find everything is really slow to load. So for me, it's not one of my favorite ones, but it does have tons and tons of options. So if we look at some of these animated GIFs, you can see things that are very like meme-like. And then of course, upload your own, which is always a really smart way to do. If you've got your own videos you want to put in there, that's a really smart way to do it. Let me just throw in this video here, much like Canva, I put it in there and it replaces it straight away. So then I've got a video that I want to look at. So let's preview what that looks like. And then that's scene 1. So if you want to make longer videos, like those 10-minute long YouTube style videos, you can do that too by adding a new scene. And we can put some more in there and say tip 1, what was it for working success? Stay focused by removing distractions. So if I want to then stay then and put in another thing here, so I can look for a video that's around about being at a computer. There we go. So this can be our stay focused person in the background. There we go. So now I've got scene number 2. So I can preview that one. And then likewise continue on until I find all the things I want to put together. I then can preview the whole thing in one. Now, when you got the free version that made with Lumen 5, credit will appear at the end. If you upgrade and pay for it, then it will have it. So the pay for that, you can just check out the pricing. It may be a little bit different, but it does start off not ridiculously expensive. If I go to upgrade this one, for instance, it'll tell us how much it is. So starter is $19 a month billed yearly. So 19 times 12, that will be US as well. If you want to go monthly, it's $29 per month. So not going to break the bank, but also not the cheapest if you want to do something basic. But to do a basic video, it is like a pretty good product. I'm not going to rubbish it. It is pretty fun to work with. And it probably has one of the larger libraries of images and videos that you can do as part of the free account, as opposed to having to pay for everything to come up. So to be honest, it's actually a very good, it's a very, very good, very mature program. It's been around for quite some time. I probably lean towards InVideo a little bit more than this one though, because it does all the same things and I'm a bit more used to it, but you may find the Lumen 5 interface just that little bit more fun to work with than say than InVideo. So again, you can create things in different sizes. It doesn't have to be this YouTube style width that fits on sideways devices. You might want to create stories that are in the vertical format, or if you want to create something for mobiles and social media platforms, then the square ones are available as well. Again, very much the same kind of thing as all these other platforms, Canva, Crello, InVideo, they all do very, very similar things. InVideo, I guess, is the one that really comes home to me as being a great platform for making specific video, not just graphics. If I pop over now to Wave Video, you've got a similar approach again. It's all very much around templates that they've already built, but you can build something straight from scratch. So let's look for an idea that may be looking good to us. Let's maybe try a Facebook or Instagram story. So I'm going to take this one because I kind of like the look of it. I can preview it. Okay, yep, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to do that. Now, you will notice if I go back one for that, pick it out again, you can actually look at it as a horizontal version and as a square version. So Wave Video, I think, is probably the most mature out of all these platforms. It's been around quite some time, and it's very, very good at what it does. So let's take the square version and edit that. Now, I don't have a paid version of this. I just have the free version. And it's allowing me to do quite a few things already. Although when it comes to the video, I'm going to get that watermark on the video simply because I need to have a premium account to get some of those premium videos to be not watermarked. So I can look at stock photos and uploads that I might want to choose to go in there. So I might want to choose something like maybe dog. Let's find a pretty doggo. Okay, I'm not seeing pretty doggos, but I'm seeing a cute little kitty. Let's add you. So I'm going to add that to my scene. There we go. And if I want to make that go back, I then look for the layouts as well. So I can then change the layouts that I want to make for this. So for instance, if I want to go something like this and have different videos inside there. So if I want to press play, it'll show me my thing. Go into the next scene, fast forward. And then if I want to go to my cute kitty, let's go. No, I'll start from here, thank you. It's not really doing much because I don't really have much in there to show yet. Come on, go. Nope, it's because I don't have a video in there. That's right, I've only got a photo. Let's find a video. So I'm not looking for images, I'm looking for free videos and free creator videos. So let's grab another cat or a dog or something like that. Cute dog, there you go, you can go in there. So adding doggo in there. And I get that same thing when I've got videos, the dog sitting there. So I can make a scene full of things. I can change that video music if I want to do that, add overlays like I can with the other things. So I can add, I don't know, a little social media thing in there if that's important to me. Or I can replace that with something else, like for instance, instructions, which are telling you, yeah, turn the sound on so you can get the best experience of this particular thing, because you might have a voiceover in there. We want to add some other stuff as well. You know, shapes, arrows, speech bubbles, all sorts of stuff in there. So as this video goes through, you notice that it doesn't have that. I've only put the little overlay on at that point. As it goes further along, that overlay disappears again. So I can actually have these things appear and disappear again, or they can sit there for the entirety of it just by me stretching it out and having that now appear for the entire scene. So anywhere I go in that video, the little sound on element is staying there. And I can add more of those as I want to go. So overlays I can have are including text. I can add my logos from my logo packs if I've got logos that I've uploaded from there. Adding some GIFs is kind of cool too. So you can add little extra things. Let's just say you're awesome. And those elements are all resizable as well. You don't have to have them tiny. You can have them quite big as well. Just that when you do resize them, they may not come out perfectly clear. So let's see this one, make it a bit longer. If I go to play this, then I can see that it's actually going to play that right through. So you just got to be careful when you're using those elements, that you use ones that you can resize and make bigger. Not all of them are going to be able to do it. Is this sound on one? Looks like it will be able to do that quite well. It doesn't degrade. It's like really well designed. The other one, not quite so much. And you can add all sorts of watermarks in there if you want to watermark it with your stuff. So you've got like a copyright that you want to do. You just put your logo in there and that watermarks it so people can't steal your stuff. And you can add captions as well. So you can add music and captions in there. You can auto caption things by, if you've got a voiceover that you've loaded up there. So your audio over on the left here, you can upload your own audio. You can upload music that's in use for free, or you can just add your own voiceover and that will run in with that video as well. One of the things I do like about Wave Video though, is that once I've got the video, so let's go back to the video. Where is it? So back to my video, I can then resize that video. So at the moment it's a 720p square video. I can resize that to make it a story video. So it's going to take the same video elements and then resize it for me. So I can very quickly go between having it as a vertical on, say, the Instagram feed, which is a great format to have it on, have it as horizontal on YouTube if I want to, and then have it as square on Facebook because it fits that a little bit better. Or I can have a cover video that I can make for Facebook, but I do need to upgrade to a higher profile for that one. So if I look at this, we compare the plans. If you want to see the pricing of these, similarly, you're looking at the free one that starts you off, but you get a lot further with the creator version, which is $20 US a month or $234 billed annually. So yeah, some of these are not the cheapest things to get, but depends on how often you're going to use these. If you're making 3, 4, 5 videos a day, these things pay for themselves. But if you're not, then you might want to stick with something like a lifetime deal through InVideo, which is $49 completely lifetime, or you just continue with Canva and get more out of Canva that you can. So on the free version of Canva, you can do a lot of these things. You don't actually have to necessarily pay to have all the extra stuff that I do. Like I pay, works at about $14 a month in Australian dollars to Canva to get all the extra things I get, which is great for me because I do actually use it, but you may not. You may not have a need to do all that. But what it does give you is a whole bunch of options. So you can jump between these 3 different or 4 or 5 different systems that allow you to create something in Canva that really suits you. Or if you find that you might think that the video is more where you want to lean and just adding animations to a graphics program like Canva isn't enough, then InVideo would probably be the one that really takes you a lot further because it does have a lot of options. And for me, it's just got a little bit more customizability to it, if that's even a word. I think Crello would probably be a third because I think that it provides you with that really nice mix between Canva and InVideo that allows you to do those videos, but it is also an excellent graphics package as well. And then you can also look at, for instance, your Wave videos in Lumen 5. Now, Lumen 5 is very simple to use. I really like the simplicity of making scenes, but Wave video, I think, has just a few features to me, which allows you to say change between all these guys very, very simply from video to video, which is not something that any of the other programs do very well. They don't allow you to resize something you're already working on. They often require you to build something again from scratch. So if you're going from square on Instagram through to a bit more of a flat video on Facebook to a tall story video on Instagram stories, then you're probably going to find that it's a bit disappointing to work with some of the other platforms, and Wave might be the one for you. Not the cheapest around, but I'll tell you, it actually is packed full of features and continually updated as well. So what you choose to go with is completely up to you. I'm just going to bring up my presentation from earlier on because it did have a special code that you can use to get anything from AppSumo for $10 off as you join. Just got to find the right presentation in here. Where is it? All my presentations I've done, they're all laid out here. This one here. So the code is about to come up. There we go. This code here. So fbuy.me/V/Darwin_37. So I'll just give you a moment to write that down if you need to buy it. So if you go to AppSumo, which is where you'll buy InVideo from, and many, many other pieces of software as well. If you want $10 off your first purchase there, that code will get that for you. So just go straight to that address and that will allow you to sign up. Of course, it also gives me a little reward too. So feel free to buy as many as you like on there, all of you if you wish to. But mainly what it's going to do is give you $10 off. So that $49 becomes $39, which is very, very well worth it for a lifetime access to a good video creation package like InVideo. Use whichever ones you like though. Canva and InVideo, they're my daily drivers. I occasionally go to Wave as well, and I occasionally use Crello when I'm looking for something that looks a little bit different than all the usual same old stuff that I find from Canva. But ultimately, it is up to you what you choose to use. So thank you very much for joining me for this afternoon's run through of these simple social media platform, social media video makers. It's been a lot of fun to go through it because it's live and we get to actually make some stuff. If you'd like to see this video again, it will be available through YouTube. through my YouTube channel, which is Dante St James. So just look for me, or you can look through for Business Station as well. They're usually up within a couple of days, but lately they've been up really, really quick. So you might want to try that out at Business Station on YouTube, youtube.com. Just look for me, Dante St James, or Business Station, and you'll be able to go and see this video again and see how I did some of those cool little videos and effects. In the meantime, though, have a fantastic afternoon, have a great weekend, and stay safe, please.